Hi everybody. Hi. So my name's Kim Johnston. I'm the Regional Partnership Director for a company called CityFibre. We're actually the UK's third largest broadband provider, but you may not currently have heard of us because we don't tend to sell to the end resident. But trust me, if you drive in and around West Yorkshire or Yorkshire or the UK as a whole, you will unfortunately come across some of our roadworks at the moment because we are putting a full fibre broadband network under the ground, and you'll be able to buy it through some of our ISPs like TalkTalk, Vodafone, Zen, and in Bradford we've got Legend Fibre as well. So there's some real good opportunities. It's a really exciting company to work for, but I'm not here to do a sales pitch at you today about broadband and full fibre. What I'm here to talk to you about today is about the potential of that full fibre under the ground and what it means for the young people, particularly the young people here from the college, what it means for them in the world today and in the world coming on. But to look at what the world is coming to, you have to look at what the world is now. And this is the third time I've used this type of graphic on what happens in the internet minute. And it's really interesting, not just the numbers, and I appreciate it's quite small on the screen for you, but it's the changes in the numbers, particularly over the last 3 years, of how much and how and where people are using the internet. So some things come, some things go. I think some of the real successes over the last couple of years has obviously been your Zooms and your Teams, and also YouTube. The amount of video content that's going on the internet now is phenomenal. And we're going to get more and more used to using videos day in, day out, like having TED Talks, like being able to stream information to and from each other. And a lot of that requires upload as well as download speeds. And at the moment, you'll all struggle to get your data to go up, but it'll be easier to get it to come down. What we do is make sure it can go either way. But some of these figures are just phenomenal, the amount of use on internet. But coming with that is your digital footprint. And that is pretty much something I want to talk to the young people about. It's so important that what you put on the internet now is staying on the internet. Doesn't matter whether you try and close your Facebook account or your Instagram account, it is there. And you really must take care of what you put on your digital footprint now, when you're 12, 13, 14, 15 going up, because that may or may not impact your career going forward. So going forward, we're going to be looking at things like digital interviews. Interviewing for a company is actually time-consuming and quite expensive. So companies are always, particularly some of the bigger ones, looking at ways of easing costs and also bringing on really quality staff in a way that's much more easy and user-friendly for them. They are going to start using much more digital interview techniques. So they will actually use algorithms and AI to go through and have a quick search of the people who put their CVs through or express an interest in a role. Some of that may or may not pick up on your digital footprint. So it's really important that you get your digital footprint as clean and as professional as you want it to be, even when you are young and you're out and you're clubbing in one of the local cities. The other thing with the videos and the digital interviews, you've only got a very short period of time. I'm used to having sat and gone into interviews where people always say they make the decision in the first 20, 30 seconds of whether they're going to hire you. And a lot of that's based on what you look like. On a digital interview, you've got a lot less time than that. It's a scroll left, scroll right, and whether you've got that job. So also impacting on your future coming forward is the rise in AI. You're not going to just be competing against other people in the marketplace. You're going to be competing against technology. The rise of AI, you're going to have some lovely, very cute little robots that may or may not ever help us in the house. But where they are helping us are in things like health and social care. AI will be able to do sensors on the ground, whether in fact they're already doing it, whether somebody's got up in the morning, whether they've put the kettle on, what's their blood pressure like today, have they forgotten what their normal routine is? Is that the first signs of dementia? These things are going to be picked up by AI and artificial technology that is just embedded, not under the skin yet, but perhaps more having a lanyard around your neck that's going to identify how and where you're moving at home. Also looking at that, you're going to have obviously AI in computers, in technology just generally, but also in communication. So we've heard about marketing and how marketing is a very set process. Something that's a set process that works well can also be used by AI. They will be able to take over some of the tasks going forward. You'll lose the personality, but to a certain extent, that 80-20 rule, they'll be able to do 80% of the work. So where are the jobs? Where's the excitement? So a lot of what I've said is a little bit negative about the future, and I don't want it to be negative. I think the future is really exciting. I think the use of the internet, the use of high-level broadband makes life really exciting, particularly in some careers. So a virtual habitat designer, that's where you, I don't know if you've seen the TV program, you put your goggles on and you can actually show someone in advance what their house is going to look like, what their garden's going to look like before they invest money. That requires somebody somewhere to do quite a lot of maths and coding and programming just to put that imagery into somebody's glasses. It's exciting, it's fun. It does tend to require a little bit of maths to get the data into here, or certainly coding skills, but it also requires creativity. It also requires art. It also requires imagination to put what you think somebody wants to see in those glasses. The other exciting thing is in the traditional sense of medicine and how people work. The barriers of, certainly COVID has shown that you can actually work from home. And this actually means that certain people, like surgeons, can't necessarily work from home, but they don't have to be even the same country as the person they are operating on. There is technology already happening in our hospitals across the UK where a surgeon can dial it in and actually perform surgery from somewhere else in the world. It obviously takes a very reliable broadband connection, because I wouldn't want to be on the table who has a little bit of an internet wobble at that point. But it's already happening, and it's really exciting that you could be operated on by the best surgeon in the world who just happens to be in New Zealand. Obviously, there's going to be so much data on the internet, so much. And people automatically think that when you're working on IoT and data and big data, it's about maths. And yeah, there is an amount of maths and numbers in it, but it's also about pattern recognition. It's also about seeing where things are replicated, having a little bit of understanding how people work. So if you're, for example, doing geography, and it's something that you're really interested in, data creative is something that might actually be for you, because that's helping you understand how people move, how people interact with each other. And data, don't assume it is just for people who are into computers and into maths, because we need the other skill set in there to make it the exciting and fun place it should be. So I believe, and this is just my opinion, that going forward, it's really, really important to really make the best use of all the data and exciting tech jobs that are going to be out there. The skill set isn't just what you assume it's going to be. You have to be curious. You have to go ask the what ifs. What if this does that? And how will that react on that? And being able to vision that journey, not just from the start to the end goal, but also backwards engineering it. If we are here, how do I need to get back to here to make my goal or my business proposition work? A lot of that requires creativity and thinking differently. There's a lot of people in the world, all on the internet at the same time. The ones that are going to stand out are the ones that are creative. And also the ones that are creative with others, being open, sharing the data with others, sharing your ideas with others, and being collaborative. And I think one of the things that's been a bit of a downfall with, among other things, with us all being locked away for the last couple of years is we've missed those real opportunities to sit and, I hate the phrase brainstorm, but to be able to share details and creativity and bounce off each other. That has definitely been missed, and I think there's a real opportunity going forward for us, even if we don't fully ever go back into the world of work 9 to 5. There will still obviously be opportunities for us to share and collaborate and just really look at the power of potential of what working together, being curious, and using the internet, because no one really knows how much it's capable of yet. And I think the really important point I would suggest is it's got to be about the imagination of the youth. I still remember the year, I'm old enough to have sent an email on the first year that emails came out. And I still remember, there might be 1 or 2 people in the room remembering the dots and zeros that came down, and somebody would send it through and it'd come out to a printer and it'd be a picture of a lady. And I even remember cards. Data went in on cards and it made a huge amount of noise in huge rooms the size of here that has less computing power than my phone that's in my bag over there. I think my problem is I remember all that. I have the constraints of what I think or don't think is possible. What I would say the youth of today shouldn't be constrained by what they think is and isn't possible. That's the really exciting thing for me is I'm really hoping that what is used on our City Fibre network in 5, 10, 20, 30 years' time is something that I hadn't even dreamt of happening. And that's where the young people and you guys at the college, that's where I feel that is the exciting bit. What can you dream up? What can you be curious about? What can you collaborate with? And just be creative to provide something for us that makes my old age maybe a little bit happier, but certainly a lot more entertaining, but also make your life much more entertaining and give you career skills going forward. So that's pretty much what I'm saying today is just because you're not necessarily into computers and you're not necessarily good at maths, don't think that the world of IT or digital isn't for you, because we need skill sets from all backgrounds. Be curious, be creative, and be collaborative for the future that we're hoping to see. So thank you. Thank you for today. Cheers.